Ciao a tutti e benvenuti to another March W13 hotel review. And as my bilingual intro there implies, we are in Italy this week, in the heart of historic Rome, just off the Palazzo and the Piazza di Montecitorio, which is where the Italian Parliament convenes. And this hotel does come highly recommended by the famous European travel writer Rick Steves. And I'm just going to read an excerpt of his review. He says that the Hotel Nazionale is a 4-star landmark, a 16th century palace that shares a well-policed square with the Italian Parliament building. Its 104 rooms are accentuated by lush public spaces, fancy bars, a uniformed staff, and a marble-floored breakfast room. It's a big, stuffy hotel, but it's a worthy splurge if you want security, comfort, and the heart of Rome at your doorstep. And you can use code RICK, capital R-I-C-K, for a Rick Steves discount. With that, let's take a look around. So you enter the room via a key card, and just as you enter to the left, there is this nice ladder-like storage rack. And this is one of these rooms typical of Europe in which you must insert a card into your room card into a slot in order to activate the electricity, and it must stay in that slot at all times. And once you leave, of course, you have to take the card with you, and the electricity to the room shuts off. That includes the air. There's a thermostat here. Doesn't seem to do anything. We are in the thick of winter. Temperatures at night dip into the 40s or the 30s. So it can be nice and cool, but it doesn't seem that, regardless of which temperature you set it, it seems that there is no cooling or warming going on. Now, there is a button here for Do Not Disturb, and you press it, and it illuminates this little Do Not Disturb light, yellow light, but I'm not sure if that actually communicates anything externally to the room, because there's also a Do Not Disturb card, perhaps just for redundancy. Well, this is a 4-star hotel, and as one can imagine, there are a lot of amenities that you don't always find in European hotels. You have sort of a coffee bar here with what looks like a percolator, and there is a mini bar. Let's see if I can open it. There it is. And we have a selection of soft drinks and alcoholic beverages, bottled water, and some snacks. Really not a very extensive collection at all. Looks like it was just sort of thrown together, quite frankly. But better than nothing, I suppose. There is a bar downstairs, and apparently the founder of this hotel was the originator of the Italian Oscars, which they call, I guess they call those the Donatelli. But there is a copy of the award that is presented downstairs, and as you can see, they have a very extensive bar menu. The television set is relatively small, and it's positioned far enough away from the bed that you probably can't see it that terribly well. It looks like it's about 30 inches or something like that. So, but it is wall mounted, and it's up high enough, and they have plenty of channels, although they look like they're mostly non-English channels. It looks like they have It looks like it's over 50% Italian, and then they have channels representing pretty much all of the other languages that represent their clientele, I suppose. And there are some directions on how to use the remote control. And I believe that the Rick Steves review alluded to a 16th century origination of this hotel, some sort of palace. But I was just reading the first couple of paragraphs here. It's all in Italian, but it says that the hotel was constructed actually in 1733, and that was by some sort of papal order. It doesn't look like they have. They may have something in English about this later on, but it looks like everything is in Italian. I'm guessing maybe this is actually the English part. Okay. So it is in English, and you can read all about the history of this building. But it is quite a beautiful building. This is what it looks like on the outside, and there's an obelisk in the middle of the square, and you have the Italian Parliament adjacent. Very beautifully appointed, sort of classic room, what you would expect from basically a building with a palatial heritage. And you see some wear and tear, like here on the edge of the desk, and in some of the upholstery on the chairs, and in this couch here, which is actually, so you can see some wear and tear there. But this couch looks like it's probably a pull-out bed. I certainly don't need a pull-out bed. But there's plenty of storage space here in this desk. And you have power outlets all over the place. They're all European style with the two prongs. So if you're coming from another country, make sure you bring your adapter. And the bed here, you can tell just by looking at it. These are two twin beds put together. And you can tell this is as hard as a board. I don't even have to feel it. But so I'd say this is probably an 8 or 9 out of 10 on the hardness scale. But that's often what you encounter in Europe. And sort of reminds me of that episode of I Love Lucy, where they stop in, I guess, Bent Fork, Tennessee, and they stay the night. And one of the beds is hard as a board, and the other one is sort of sinks into the floor. You can see there are plenty of controls here for lighting, and plenty of additional outlets. There's a USB outlet, it appears, as well as more European outlets, and a little switch for a nightlight in English. Very nice. And I arrived here rather late. I think I checked in around 9 p.m. And it appears that they had already performed what I assume to be some version of a turn-down service, because I found the slippers here off to the side of the bed, and the sheets are just sort of tucked a bit, beckoning you to climb in. And there's also a little chocolate here. And there is a little table here for your luggage. And then if you proceed down this corridor here, you find a closet and a sink. And as for the closet, there is a decent amount of rack space. I've taken up quite a bit of it with my heavy coats, as we are entering the winter season. But there are 10 hangers in all, laundry bags, a lot of comforts that you would expect in an American style hotel, and an easy to use and relatively standard, if not a slightly larger than normal sized safe. Again, very much up to, say, American service standards. And what I like about this one is that the PIN number that you input has a variable number of digits. So you could enter in a 4-digit PIN, and it looks like up to a 9-digit PIN, which I would imagine makes the number a bit more difficult to guess. And you have these drawers in which you would normally find like shoe shining kits and that sort of thing in the United States, but I think these are empty. And there are also mirrors on the outside of both doors. And then to the left of the closet here, you have some more what looks like luggage space and some very well lit, modern looking accents here with a little stool you can pull out and a lit vanity mirror and a single basin and faucet here with some, looks like Hotel Nazionale branded bath amenities and something from Aquay, I guess is the name of the shampoo and conditioner, but they provide you with plenty of it, along with a hair dryer. And as we enter the rest of the bathroom here, I think I forgot to mention this is actually a deluxe room. I'm assuming that they have a standard room. I think I booked a superior room and they upgraded me to the deluxe. So I'm not sure what the difference is, but I'm assuming the deluxe has a bit more space and amenities. So you have a what when you touch it is clearly a warmed towel rack in here, and you know that you're in a nice hotel when you find complimentary bathrobes, and they have a little sign attached to it indicating that the bathrobes are not yours to keep, but you're welcome to purchase one at the front desk. There's actually another faucet in here, another sink, and another mark of a nice hotel, a bidet accompanying the toilet with a phone next to the toilet, which is again something that you don't typically see in European hotels. Looks like a drawing of the Spanish Steps. And then there is a full walk-in shower. No tub, but a walk-in shower, and wow, quite a bit of space here. Rain-style shower heads, and two of them. One in the front and one in the back, as well as a window that is propped open to the outside. And looks like individual controls for each of those shower heads, as well as this handheld shower head here. So all in all, I think the final verdict here is that Rick Steves was right. This is a very nice hotel in Rome. Location is a big deal because there's so much to see, and the location here is absolutely perfect. It's sort of equidistant from all of the wonderful things to see, particularly now during the holiday season. And actually, before I forget, let's check out the view. Let's see if we can. So it looks out into this courtyard out here and into the Roman night. But as I was saying, I think the combination of just the ambiance here and the history involved with this building and the location make this a perfect hotel if the price is right. And I definitely invite you to check it out. That's all for this Marsh W13 hotel review, and I hope you can join me for the next one. Until then, happy travels.